Namaskaram students. Today we are going to see the second lesson in chemistry, that is periodic classification of elements. Whenever you go to a stationery shop, you see the things are in a very systematic manner. All notebooks are in one side, all pens are in one side, and even among the pens, all similar colored pens are stacked together. Why is it so? Because this systematic arrangement makes it very convenient for the shopkeeper to find the particular item and give it to the customer. Similarly, even in chemistry, from the earliest times, scientists have been trying to classify the available elements on the basis of their property. Do you know which is the element number 101 in the modern periodic table? It is called Mendelevium. It is named after the Russian scientist Mendeleev. He was the father of the periodic table. Now his periodic table is different from the modern one. But it was the huge step forward. Lot of scientists were trying to classify the elements and put them in table, but Mendeleev did. And as we know, new ideas can change the world. So Mendeleev's idea, it completely changed the classification of elements. Let's go back to Mendeleev's time. Imagine we are in 1869. At the time, only 63 elements were discovered. Mendeleev were looking at the relation between atomic mass of elements and their physical and chemical property. Let's discuss all the three one by one. First, what is atomic mass? The mass of one atom of an element. The SI unit of atomic mass is kilogram. Since the atom is very small, the more convenient unit called atomic mass unit, that is AME, is used now. Now let's talk about physical property. Things like density, melting point, boiling point, etc. are included in physical property. Next, what is chemical property? Chemical property is nothing but how an element reacts with other elements. To look at this in a systematic way, Mendeleev looked at how an element reacts with hydrogen and oxygen. Since the hydrogen and oxygens are very reactive and form compounds with other elements. Let us understand this with a simple example. Let's take sodium. The compounds formed with hydrogen and oxygen are NaH and Na2O. Similarly, for potassium, the compounds formed are KH and K2O, potassium hydride and potassium oxide. If you represent the elements in R, the chemical formula is same for both RH and R2O. So Na and potassium have similar chemical property and can be grouped together. Mendeleev used the formula of oxides and hydrides to group the elements together. If you look at the row of Mendeleev's periodic table, you will see this formula. As you can see, for group number 1, the oxide formula is R2O and hydride is RH. For group 2, the oxide is RO and hydride is RH2 and so on. Elements are mostly arranged in order of increasing atomic mass. The horizontal rows are called period and the vertical column called groups. Mendeleev observed the repetition in physical and chemical property. He formulated Mendeleev's periodic law. It states that the property of the elements are arranged according to the periodic function of their atomic masses. In some cases, he placed an element with slightly greater atomic mass before an element with slightly lower atomic mass. He did this so that elements having similar chemical property would be grouped together. For example, as you can see this table, cobalt should come after nickel, but cobalt comes before nickel. Since its property are similar to the elements below it, that is rhodium and iridium. Nickel property has similar to palladium and platinum, which are below it. So Mendeleev have to make such exemptions, whereas higher atomic weight comes before an element with lower atomic weight. Can you find some more exception in this table? Yes, it is tellurium and iodine. And another achievement of Mendeleev's periodic table is inert or noble gases. Inert gases are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. Inert gases are discovered very later because of its unreactive in nature and low concentration in atmosphere. But Mendeleev discovered, they could be placed in a separate group in Mendeleev's periodic table without disturbing the rest of the element. These all about Mendeleev's achievement. Now let's look at some. Now let's move on to 1913, where Moseley showed that atomic number is a more fundamental property than atomic mass. So what is the difference between atomic mass and atomic number? Atomic mass is mass of a single atom of an element, and with the discovery of subatomic particles like electron, proton and neutron, atomic number is defined as the number of proton present in the nucleus of an atom. Now everything is based on atomic number. Elements are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic number. So the modern periodic law stated that the properties of the elements are a periodic function of their atomic number. Why Mendeleev did not use atomic number? The reason is Rutherford nuclear model of an atom and the concept of atomic number was discovered a few years after his death. So Mendeleev's table was mainly based on atomic mass, but the modern periodic table is now based on atomic number. When you shift from Mendeleev's to modern, the anomalous behavior of Mendeleev's table was corrected. For example, now cobalt and nickel are in correct position based on atomic number. See this modern periodic table, cobalt and nickel are placed in group number 9 and 10. Cobalt have atomic number 27. It is placed before nickel, atomic number 28. Let's see the general features of modern periodic table. Let's see the general information about modern periodic table. The periodic table is based on the modern periodic law is called modern periodic table. It is also known as long form of periodic table. The modern periodic table has 7 horizontal rows called period and 18 vertical columns called groups. Periods are numbered from 1 to 7. Elements of the same period have same number of shell which is equal to the period number. In each period, new shell starts filling up. So the starts filling up, which also known as period number. Let's see the general features of modern periodic table. The first period is the shortest period, contain only 2 elements. Second and third period contain 8 elements each. It is called short period. Fourth and fifth period are long period, contains 18 elements each. The sixth period is the longest period, contain 32 elements. Seventh period is an incomplete period. There are 18 vertical. Next, about groups. There are 18 vertical columns numbered from 1 to 18 as group number. All the elements in the group have same electronic configuration, that is same number of valence electron. First group elements are known as alkali metals. The second group elements are known as alkaline earth metal. Group 17 are called halogens. Group 18 in the extreme right side of the periodic table known as inert gases, because their outermost shell contain 8 electrons. Element placed in the group 3 to 12 in the middle periodic table are known as transition elements. Elements that are placed at the bottom of the periodic table are known as inner transition elements. Contains 2 series, that is lanthanides from atomic number 58 to 71 and actinides from atomic number 90 to 103. Now, in periodic table, modern periodic table, there are 118 elements have been arranged in a very systematic manner. There are some property related to their elements which define the way which these elements reacts. Since the elements are arranged in a very well organized manner, therefore their property also follow the particular trend. Let's see how. One important property of the elements is that size. The size of an atom is also measured in terms of radius. So it is known as atomic radius. It is calculated as the distance between the center of the nucleus to the outermost shell is known as the radius of an atom. Sometimes the atom do not exist independently. They form molecule. In that case, we take the internuclear distance. That is the distance between the nucleus of two atoms. In that case, how will you find out the radius? See in the covalent molecule, consider the covalent molecule. So how will you find out the covalent radius? It is nothing but half the distance between the nuclei of two covalently bonded atoms of the same element in the molecule. Let's see one problem. Here distance between two chlorine atom is given, that is 1.98 Armstrong. So you have to calculate the radius of chlorine. We know that internuclear distance is equal to radius of two atom. So 2RCl is equal to DClCl. RCl is equal to half the distance of the chlorine molecule. So 1.98 divided by 2 is equal to 0.99 Armstrong. In terms of picometer, you will get 99 picometer. Next, what happened when the size across the period? The elements are arranged in an increasing order of atomic number. From left to right in the periodic table, the atomic number increases. We know that atomic number is nothing but number of proton that also increases. So now nuclear charge, we know that nucleus consists of protons and neutrons. Neutrons have no charge. So the charge of the nucleus mainly depends upon the number of protons. More the number of proton, more will be the nuclear charge. Therefore, going from left to right in a period, as the number of proton increases, the nuclear charge also increases. This leads to greater the nuclear force of attraction on outermost shell increases. So increased nuclear charge tends to pull the outermost electron or outermost shell closer to itself. Because of this, the atomic size of an atom decreases. Here see the pictorial representation of atomic size across the period. This is true for all the period in the periodic table. So when we move from left to right in the period, the number of shell increases because the number of shell remains the same because we know that the period number is equal to the number of shell. So if we talk about second period, the number of shell is 2. As we move from left to right, the number of proton increases, nuclear charge also increases. So increase of nuclear charge pulls the outermost shell toward itself. So atomic sizes decreases. What happened? The atomic size from top to bottom. When we are moving from top to bottom in any group, we know that atomic number increases. As the atomic number increases, what happens? Number of proton increases. Number of proton increases means automatically nuclear charge increases. We know in any group, as we move from top to bottom, the number of shell increases. So this is very, very important. The number of shell overweighs the increased nuclear charge. So this affects the nuclear charge that tend to pull the outermost shell towards it. But number of shell increases, they tend to increase the distance between the outermost shell and nucleus. So this effect overweighs the nuclear charge and it affects the atomic size. So from top to bottom, because of number of shell increases, the atomic size also increases. See, hydrogen have only one shell, but lithium have two shell. Sodium have 3 shells, so the distance between the nucleus and the outermost shell is increases. So automatically atomic size increases. So the remaining periodic property we'll see in the next class. Thank you guys.